Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this madness, shall we? Because I'm just asking for a friend here, but did Meghan Markle just get caught paying for fake reviews on her shitty rosé wine? Now let's put it this way. Someone is getting as sloppy as her raspberry spread. Now, the Daily Mail reviewed the wine first and foremost, and this is what they had to say about it. Okay, Meghan Markle's new $30 as ever rosé wine has finally arrived. Here's the acidic truth about how it really tastes. Now, they firstly discussed the packaging, right? And they turn around and they say, the brown cardboard box arrived, was unassuming, unlike the typical white box she's previously used for her other as-ever orders. When they opened the package, they discovered the 3 bottles of wine were nestled in between 2 egg crate cartons that were shaped like bottles. They said nothing broke. But for nearly $30 a bottle, they hope that won't be the case anyway. They said each bottle was wrapped in a piece of thin white tissue paper. They mentioned they felt it was a little cheap. And it then was sealed with a gold and white sticker with the As Ever logo stamped on it. They then said that the bottle featured a white sticker on the front, which again read As Ever. But they said, look, you know, let's get on to the good stuff now, the wine itself. And so in terms of when they tasted it, they turn around and they say that their first sip left a lot to be desired and it didn't taste like much. They said that the rosé was smooth, but they couldn't easily detect the notes of the stone fruit. They said that it also tasted quite bland and almost watery, that there was a lack of flavour and that it seemed to be quite acidic. Felt like a really, really strong alcoholic wine. And when others in Daily Mail team tasted it, they all noticed that there was a little bit of a dodgy aftertaste afterwards. The article says, quote, it left a somewhat uncomfortable sensation at the back of our throats after swallowing. They say that, you know, you'd think that with all the bump that Megsy was trying to kind of raise for this wine, right, and all the PR, that this wine was coming from a fancy vineyard. But the reviewer turned around and says, the wine that we tasted, yeah, it didn't taste like you bought it from a fancy vineyard where it's supposed to be made. They said instead it tasted affordable and ordinary. You know how Megsy, like at the beginning of the year, we all trolled her and took the piss out of her, quite rightly so, turning around and being like, I love to elevate the ordinary or something along those lines, right? And she put on like a sprig of mint or something along those lines. Yeah, she ain't elevating shit, let alone a bottle of freaking rosé wine, when you've got this reviewer turning around and saying, nah, it didn't taste like you bought it from a fancy vineyard. Instead, it tasted affordable and ordinary. And that this was a wine that most likely would be served at a work happy hour. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now, you look at the rest of the reviews for Megsy's rosé wine, right? Whether it's an article or it's online, right? The majority of the reviews, yeah, they're not too kind to Megsy and her rosé. Let's put it that way. Now, let's compare all of that, right, to this review right here from InStyle. Because this review from InStyle really got me back up. Because I'm thinking, hang on a minute, what freaking wine did they get? Because quite honestly, as far as I'm concerned, it ain't the one that the Daily Mail got. That is for damn certain. Here, the article says, I tried Meghan Markle's new rosé. Here's whether the $30 wine is worth the hype. It tastes like a drink that Meghan and Diana might have enjoyed together. Oh my goodness, who freaking writes that, first and foremost, for a rosé wine review? I tell you something, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, this reporter got fed what to write for her review for this rosé. This reporter, Rachel Birchfield, all my opinion conspiracy theory, whatever. But where the hell did she get that from? It tastes like a drink that Megxie and Diana would have enjoyed together. Oh. As far as I'm concerned, that's something Megxie would say. That's something that came from Megxie. I mean, what do you guys think, right? But this review gets even funnier. Firstly, the reviewer turns around and has to point out, here's my honest review of the new As Ever Rosé. Okay. If you have to freaking point out that your review is honest, 9 times out of 10, it's not. It's not. You're just trying to fool people. Because if it's an honest review, then why would you want to point out that it's an honest review in the first place? People would just reasonably assume that your review's honest. You wouldn't literally have to spell it out. So why does she have to literally spell it out here? It's an honest review. I promise, it's an honest review. I swear. Yeah, right. Okay. And my backside farts out butterflies and frickin' rainbows every hour. Pull the other frickin' leg. And part of this review, oh my goodness, says, beyond the marketing speak, in layman's terms, the rosé is good. My experience with it, it's smooth, almost dangerously smooth. As we finished the whole bottle in one night without even trying. And no, I'm not hungover this morning. It goes down easy and is dry and light. To hear my husband describe it, his 3 adjectives were lively, refreshing and pleasant. Mine, flavourable, sweet and enjoyable. Yeah, a bit different to the Daily Mail saying that it tasted acidic and just an ordinary wine. That didn't really seem like it came from a fancy vineyard. See the stark difference here? Oh my goodness. And she says, right, beyond the marketing speak, in layman's terms, but then further on in the review, then goes into marketing freaking speak. Saying in the marketing materials for the rosé, the brand is very much pushing that this is a drink designed for the summer, and they're not wrong. The release was planned to launch just in time for summer entertaining and is crisp and beautifully balanced. This is made for summer's best moments, from lunches that turn into dinners and sun-drenched weekends where the only thing that's louder than the music is the laughter. This blend captures the essence of celebration, inviting wine lovers to toast all the moments that matter the most, guys. Yeah, both big and small. Then writes, well, that's a little more cheesy than I may have put it. At least we now have wine to pair with it. Now, this indicates to me a big major thing, right? The reviewer is quoting marketing materials. This gives me the indication that the reviewer actually didn't buy this wine, that this reviewer was actually sent this wine. So, is it really an honest review after all? If she was sent this wine and didn't have to pay for it in the first place? I mean, unless I'm freaking stupid, I've looked on this article. I've not seen them turn around and say that they were sent this wine, so do bear that in mind. But to be quoting marketing materials, how did she get the marketing materials in the first place? Unless she was sent it for a good review. Because this is the thing, right? The majority, right, of the mainstream media that Megxie tries to rely on to push out a propaganda all see her wine as what it really is. A freaking cash grab. And ultimately, you've got 2 very stark reviews. And which one is true? As Royally Sage at Sage1411 is saying here on X, this is how you know the review was bought and paid for. Well, for me, let's put it this way. Could the review on Megxie's wine be legit and not paid for? The good review on Megxie's wine. Could that be legit and not paid for? Yeah, it could. However, Reviews on Megsy's previous products have not been great for her. They've been universally, absolutely torn apart. You know, her spreads, her teas, etc. So based on the balance of probability with so many bad reviews for her previous products, it stands to reason that we would expect her wine to not be up to standard either. And as I mentioned, the majority of the mainstream media that Megsy tries to rely on to push out her propaganda all see her wine as what it really is, a cash grab. And we even have renowned world chef Jameson Stocks, yeah, that same dude. Yeah, he has peered his head up from the power pit because he's now slamming the wine as well. So if the Sugars thought that they could silence him, oh, no. He's coming out swinging, you guys, saying nobody knows what it tastes like. Questioning why anyone would, quote, buy 3 bottles minimum before saying that it could taste like vinegar and be as bitter as her. And so Jameson turned around and said, you know, over the, how do I put this? He criticised, essentially, Megsy's pricing of the rosé wine in the first place, saying that she was overpricing it, calling it unfair to overcharge her loyal fan base, many of whom might not be able to afford it, concluding that in the current global cost of living crisis, quote, I find it unacceptable that the price of the wine is so high. So, in the red corner, right, you've got a bad review on Megsy's wine, numerous bad reviews of Megsy's previous products, and the majority of the mainstream media and a lot of us thinking that a wine venture is simply just a cash grab. And finally, you've got world-renowned chef Jameson Stocks completely slamming Megsy's wine. And so it makes me question the lone good review of Megsy's wine that's standing in the face of all this other evidence that's saying her rosé is shit. So I'm asking for a friend here. But did Megsy pay for this good review or not? And going back to that InStyle paid for fake review, right? Royally Sage has just posted this on X shortly before I went live. And this is from the St. Meghan Markle Reddit. Shout out to the St. Meghan Markle Reddit. You guys freaking rock. And Royally Sage is saying, Rachel posted a paid tribute from InStyle. Notice the word ad in the lower right-hand corner. This was paid for. And as we scroll down, and the funnier thing is that Megsy was the freaking one that shared this on her fake as ever freaking profile on Instagram. She might have just outed herself on this one, guys. I'm just, when you don't think she can't get any more stupid. Yeah. Yeah, so, guys, what do you guys think when it comes to this review from InStyle? Has Megsy just been caught paying for fake reviews on her shitty rosé wine? What do you guys think? Now, for those watching live, whether it's here on YouTube or on X, stay exactly where you are because we're going to be getting into the third topic in a moment. Oh my goodness, this is a doozy. There's a blind item going around. Did Meghan Markle actually try to sell news of the Queen's death to the media before it was officially confirmed? What the deuce is going on? Is this true? Well, I'm going to dive into that in the next segment for today's live stream. So again, those watching live, whether it's on YouTube or X, stay exactly where you are. But if you are watching on the replay and you haven't done so already, then do make sure on your way out you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe, like, share. Comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Do you think that InStyle review is fake? Do you think Megsy paid for it? What do you guys think? If you watch on the replay, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters.